Hello and welcome. My name is Timothy Kieninger. I am the manager of the RapidView software department, and today I'm going to be doing a video on shapefile import-export. So what is a shapefile? A shapefile is normally used with GIS systems for geographical purposes. So anything that runs ArcGIS and a lot of asset management softwares are able to export these out. Now what we're going to be going over today is bringing one of those shapefiles in or out of IKAS Evolution, specifically for mapping purposes for GIS. All right, so jumping in here, you can see we are in IKAS Evolution. We are right on our object workspace here. And to go ahead and get started adding this shapefile in here, we're going to go ahead and go up to the Project File tab up here at the top, and we're going to select Add Data. Now this is going to go ahead and bring up a search window so that we can go ahead and find the file that we're looking for. And we are looking for a .shp file. Now I've already got mine. I already knew where it was at. I exported it out earlier. But depending on your asset management software or your GIS software, you might have a little bit of a difficult time finding it, or it might not match exactly what you're seeing here. So it's always good to consult with whoever's working primarily with your GIS stuff for help here. And if that's you, congratulations. Now, you'll notice here that we have a lot of different files here, and that's because GIS works in layers. So every lateral, which is represented with an L here, manhole, and section, each one of those has their own separate layers, so they generate their own set of files. Now, you'll notice within all the S files here, we have a few different file types. The one we're going to import is this .shp file right here, but you'll notice we also have a .shx, a .prj, a .dbf, and a .cpg. All of these other files are required in order to import into IKAS here. They all contain their own separate GIS data, whether that's XY coordinates, Z coordinates, just general GIS information on there. So we're going to go ahead and select our .shp file here. And what this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and bring up another window here. Bam. And what's happening here is every GIS software and every asset management software has a degree of customizability to it. So the data fields aren't going to line up exactly with what's in IKAS. So you'll notice over here I'm importing just my section, and I've got that section option selected up here at the top. If you're doing laterals, you'll want to select for laterals, or manholes, you'll want to select manholes. But you'll notice over on the left-hand side here, we have all of our data fields available to be imported into IKAS for sections. Now, this is an IKAS export over here, so all of these data fields are available, as well as some others that might be pertinent for your specific GIS or asset management software. But that's not always going to be the case. So what this screen does here is it allows us to map these specific data fields to their IKAS counterparts. Now you'll notice up here at the top, we have 3 fields here that are in bold. These are required fields. These are fields that need to be brought in. Now you can go ahead and export without these, or import without these fields filled out here or mapped, but that is going to cause a problem with your network map, which we'll take a look at once we get everything exported here. So mapping these is really easy. There's 2 different ways to do it. So we can go ahead and find our pipe segment reference, or what would correlate to that. I see that sitting right here. So we're going to go ahead and just click on it with our left mouse button, and we're going to go ahead and drag it to where it says assignment. And you'll notice that when I drag over these fields right here, they start to turn green. That means it's a good sign. So we're going to go ahead and attach our pipe segment reference to our pipe segment reference field. So that is mapped. Now we need to do our top and bottom manhole here. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to scroll through these fields here to go ahead and find what we're looking for. So right here we've got our top manhole and bottom manhole. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. These fields might be listed differently than what you're seeing right here. So just consult with your expert, or give us a call. We can maybe help you figure it out, or we can tackle the problem. So we're going to go ahead and select top manhole here. I'm going to go ahead and map it to top manhole, and I'm going to select bottom manhole here, and I'm going to go ahead and map that to my bottom manhole. Now, if you're doing a lot of shapefile imports, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I don't want to have to map these fields every time. I've got good news for you. If you notice up here at the top, we have a little floppy disk button. If you hit this, it'll allow you to save all of your mapping that you have done on the left-hand side here. So I'm going to go ahead and name this just .shp import. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this green circle with a white check mark in there to go ahead and save that. And you'll notice this drop-down menu here is filled out. If I hit this, I've got a couple other ones saved in here. I can go ahead and hit test right here, and you'll notice that these options change. Or if I hit IKAS import, you'll notice that these options change. What this does is it went ahead and saved all your mapping for you. So if you're importing a lot of shapefiles, that's all set and good to go. As long as the columns here match with what they were correlated to over here on the left-hand side, what we map them to, right? So as long as you're importing from the same system, it should just go ahead and map all of it for you. Now, another option to go ahead and map these is you can go ahead and select these columns right here. So let's go ahead and use street for an example. If I go ahead and select street right here, just anything on the street, I'm going to go ahead and select street on the left-hand side as well. And I'm going to hit map field. And it's going to go ahead and map all these fields for me. So now I've got street correlated with street. When I import these, my street data is going to go ahead and import as well. So we're going to go ahead and select import sections, and that's going to go ahead and import our sections for us. All right, now when we come back to our object page, you'll notice that not only have the sections imported, but we also had manholes import as well. And that's because we mapped those top and bottom manhole fields. But if we go in and look at these manholes right here, you're going to notice that we don't have any project data for them. So with the outstanding of the name and GPS coordinates, we don't have anything else in here. And that's because that data would have to be brought in with the manhole shapefile that I referenced earlier. Now, going back, we've got all of our objects in here. If we go up and select the network plan up here, you can see that we actually imported these, and now we have a map in here. So these are our sections. It's showing the flow direction. If you had observations on here, those would also be on here. I'm not going to get too far into this. We have another video on the channel here, a couple of them, going more in depth to our network plan feature here. But just wanted to touch on it and show you what a finished product looks like. So with all of these imported here, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at exporting these. To export, you can either export individual objects by selecting them and going up to the Objects tab here, or you can export all of the object data right here with the Project tab. And this is done the same way on both of these. You go ahead and select the Data Transfer option. So we're going to go ahead and select Data Transfer here, and you're going to want to make sure that you have this shapefile option selected. And once that's selected, you're going to go ahead and press this wrench icon right here where it says Configure Shapefile. And you'll notice, really similar to what we were looking at with the import, we have a whole bunch of different options here for data that can be exported out. So just like with us, how we have specific things that need to be imported, there might be things that need to be imported on your GIS or asset management software. So you're going to want to go ahead and select our IKAS equivalent here. So not only do we have all the object data here, but we also have some inspection data. We've got our PACP scores in here. Any of the fields that would be available in a PACP inspection are available in here. Now, that being said, we're going to go ahead and just keep it real simple today. I'm going to go ahead and select length, pipe segment reference, and we're going to find our top and bottom manhole on here. Yep, those are already selected. And to select these, you're just going to go ahead and hit this little box here. Once it's selected, you'll have a check. Now, with all of these selected, we're going to go ahead and go back to our menu and get ready to export these out. Now, just like with the import, there's a way to save this template. And this actually carries over for all of these options in here. If we go up and hit this floppy disk with the green plus mark right up at the top, we're going to go ahead and select the template name. I'm just going to name this .shp export. And if you'll notice it shows up right here in the drop-down menu. And if you hit this, you'll notice that we have a lot of different options in here. These are all different export options that I've saved. And you can save as many as you want to be flexible with your projects. But again, if you're exporting out a lot of shape files, this is the best way to do it because it goes ahead and saves all of this data that you've selected here. Once you've got that selected, just like with a regular export, we're going to go ahead and hit these three dots here, and we're going to select where we want it saved. Anywhere on the computer, any removable hard drives connected, maybe a cloud server, whatever. So I just want to go ahead and save mine to the desktop. So I went ahead and selected desktop right there. We're going to hit OK, and we're going to press start. And this is going to go ahead and export out all of this stuff. This right here is just because I have another export with the same name. So I'm going to go ahead and hit override all existing. We're going to select yes. I always recommend opening the directory after you've exported, because then you can go in there and double check and make sure everything's in here. So we should see some shapefiles in here. So we exported out just shapefiles for our sections. We didn't go through any of the manhole options, but it looks like all of our files are here and ready to be imported to our asset management or GIS software of our choice. So that is a really quick but thorough run through of what it takes to import and export out shapefiles. And this is a wide variety of applications besides just GIS purposes. This can be used to set up work orders, and this can also be used to import data from non-PHP sources. So if you're bringing it over from maybe a third-party inspection software as well, and they can export out shapefiles, or again, your asset management softwares. If you want to bring over some of that object data just to have it in here and ready to go to make inspections a little bit quicker, you don't have to fill out all that object information. This is a really good way to do it. With all that being said, that kind of wraps everything up for our video today. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to us via the support line, or you can reach out directly to my email address. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.